Okay, we have equivalent fractions 2a. So we're going to talk about fractions that are equal to each other. So first thing we're going to look at is whenever we're talking about fractions, we're always talking about whatever they're asking about, okay, over the total amount of pieces. That's the total amount of equal size pieces. So on this one, they're going to show us this shaded part, and that top fraction right there, I see one part is shaded, so that's going to be my numerator, and there's two total parts. Two total parts. So that's going to represent 1/2. Okay, I'm going to shade in the other one to be equal to that. Doing something funny there. Okay, so to make it the same amount, I end up shading it in two parts of that one. So two parts. So my numerator is going to be a 2, and there is 4 total parts. So my denominator is going to be 4. So in this case, 1/2 is equal or equivalent to 2/4. The next one, I can see I've got one part shaded, and I've got 2 total parts, so that's 1/2 again. And I'm going to shade in this part here to be the same amount. Let's see if I can make that bigger. There you go. Shade in, get a little bit bigger yet. Take the 5, huh? Okay, perfect. So I'm going to shade that in. So it's the same amount. And I had to shade in 1, 2, 3 parts of it to make it equal to that. So that's going to be 3. And the total amount of pieces is 4, 5, 6 pieces. So 1/2. This model is showing that 1/2 is equal to 3/6. Okay, let's go ahead and scoot down and look at C and D. Okay. So C looks like 1/2 again. So I got one part shaded. So my numerator is 1, and I've got 2 total parts. That's 1/2. And on this one, I'm going to shade in an equal amount to where it's shaded the same amount. And that looks like I got 1, 2, 3, 4 parts shaded to make it equal to that one. So my numerator is going to be 4. And I've got 5, 6, 7, 8 total parts. So in this case, 1/2 is equal to 4/8. Okay, we'll go ahead and look at D. On D, I've got one part shaded out of 2 parts, since it's just the same thing as this, except this is a circle model. So that's 1/2 is shaded. Okay, and to shade in the same amount here, see how this works here? I have to make a little bit smaller to do that one. Okay. So in that case, I shaded in 2 parts to make it the same as this. So my numerator is going to be 2, and I've got 4 total parts. So that's 1/2 is equal to 2/4. Scoot on up. And we'll look at E. And on E, I've got one part shaded, so my numerator is going to be a 1 out of 2 total parts. So that's 1/2 again. And to make this same amount shaded, I'm going to shade in this over here. Okay. And it looks like I had to shade in 1, 2, 3 parts to make it equal to my 1/2. And that's out of 4, 5, 6 total parts. So my denominator is going to be 6. So 1/2 is equal to 3/6. Let's go over here and look at the next page. You're looking at F. Yeah, I should be able to get, we'll just look at F and G first. So F, I can see that one part is shaded out of 2 total parts. That's still 1/2. If I shade in the same amount on this one, it's going to look like this bottom part of it. So I shaded in 1, 2, 3, 4 parts, so my numerator is going to be a 4 out of 5, 6, 7, 8 total parts. So 1/2 is equal to 4/8. Okay, on G, I've got 1 part shaded. Looks like we're getting away from 1/2 this time. Out of 2, 3 total parts, so 1/3. Okay, I'm going to shade in this one right here to where it matches the 1/3 there. So I'm going to shade it in. And this is the same amount as the one right next to it. So I had to shade in 1, 2 parts. So my numerator is going to be 2 out of 3, 4, 5, 6 total parts. So in this case, 1/3 is equivalent to 2/6. Okay, we're going to scoot up and look at H, I, maybe J2. No, we'll just look at H and I. Okay. Okay, on this one I have 2 parts shaded. So my numerator is going to be a 2 out of 3 total parts. So that's 2/3. I'm going to shade in the model next to it to be the same amount shaded. And it looks sort of like this right here. Looks like the same amount. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4 parts there. So my numerator is going to be a 4. And I have 5, 6 total parts. My denominator is going to be a 6. So 2/3 is equivalent to 4/6. Okay, on I got 1 part shaded out of 2, 3, 4 total parts. That's 1/4. I'm going to shade in this model over here to look the same amount shaded, the same area of it shaded. And I shaded in 1, 2 parts, so my numerator is going to be 2. And I've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 total parts. So 1/4 is equivalent to 2/8. And we'll go down here. Look at the last problem here. And I have 1, 2, 3 parts shaded. That's my numerator is going to be 3 out of 4 total parts. So that's 3/4. If I shade in the same amount, it will look like all of it except for 2 of the parts shaded. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts shaded. So that's numerator 6, and that's out of 8 total parts. So 3/4 is equivalent to 6/8. And I will double check and see. Okay, yeah, that's my skills there. Okay, so what you're going to do is after you finish filling in, making yours match mine, you can go back into Schoology, and there'll be a blue puzzle piece, and it will be equivalent fractions 2b. And that's going to be put in Schoology. Take your time, work out the problems. You can use a piece of grid paper if you need to model it on grid paper. But work out those problems and do your best. And when you get done with doing your equivalent fractions 2b, you're going to go ahead and watch the video for the skills on this page over here. So go ahead and do your best.